Welcome everyone and welcome back. We're gonna be continuing with our playthrough of RE3 Remake. And as always, just before the stream begins, let's get some people into this chat. So I'm gonna be throwing out the links, hoping more people come and join in the great discussions that we've been having. And hopefully people make it through. So just hold your horses, the stream will start soon. Okay, let's see, job should be done, stream should be running, and I believe we're continuing off. It should be the section in which Jill and Carlos should eventually meet up at the hospital, but right now of course the two characters are separated from one another, so we'll see what happens. Here we are. I believe we had just had a face-off with Nemesis. Things went relatively well. And so far so good. We're talking quite a lot about different aspects of the game's development, how the comparison between the original and the remake, things that were cut out, and the differences in quality between like RE2 remake and this particular remake. And we also got into a much more in-depth discussion on like Souls games. I don't even know how that became a topic of discussion. And we're talking about different Souls games and Elden Ring and all these different things, and how I felt burnt out after Dark Souls 3 and what that meant for me personally. And had a user here, Unip, who was talking about how his first Souls experience was Elden Ring, and looking at it from that point of view, from that perspective, you can tell that like it's a different generation of players now. Of course there are those exceptions, people who've been at it for decades and decades. Those players do exist, and you get this new crowd, this new crew who hear about the Souls games and oh no, hold on a second, I think my chat, hold on, let's see. Okay, I think the chat is up now. Hey, what's up? How's it going? I was just throwing out the links to people, trying to see who will be coming, who will not be coming, as I'm just sitting here in the menu. I don't know why I feel like I need space, so I'll just put one herb away. Maybe I'll regret this. Maybe I'll put away the mine rounds as well. And then we're gonna move on. But yeah, it's generation upon generation. It's like trends change, development cycles change, new players come in, old players leave. I feel like it's just natural progression, and it's not very common. It's not so common to find those who stick through it from era to era. Sometimes People change. Sometimes the games stay the same, sometimes they don't. But at the end of the day, it feels like 3-4-1. Let's go. Sometimes it feels like the games media, but all media in general, has gone towards this more.
Walker's still alive. I can't stay here.
I remember this boss fight. If only PK Sips was gonna be here. Yes. That was a big headshot. Just to answer your question, Hunep, yes, build variety, I believe, is what made Dark Souls, right? People could play the game however they wanted to play it, and you could be very creative in things that you could actually role play your character, you know. And I feel like that was the one thing Sekiro did not have. And right now, there's Jurassic Bunny in the chat, Mr. Morinzi himself. Maybe he can explain to you a little bit better than I can why I feel like Sekiro, firstly, is not a Souls game, and secondly, how as a game, at least from the reputation that From Software had, Sekiro, it should have been marketed in a different way. Because I feel like when you are thinking of a From Software game, you're thinking a certain style of action RPG, and Sekiro is not that style. Maybe I just read the situation wrong. Maybe they did state that this is a game that will be nothing like any Souls game or Bloodborne. Maybe I just missed out on the information, and then I got surprised when the game actually came out. So I'm not sure. Maybe it was just me, you know. Anything can happen. But I can tell you for sure, Sekiro as an experience, I believe I played it and finished it twice. I don't think I finished it a third time. And honestly, I don't think I'll ever play that game again. This is the journey straight to the Nemesis fight, so I think I'm gonna go back and get my ammunition. I actually thought that I wouldn't need it. Or at least I thought there would be an item box before the fight, but I guess I forget wrong. And just to clarify, I have met people who really swear by Sekiro and the mechanics that it came with. Initially, when I started playing the game, you know, I thought it was cool, but as I got to really learn what the game was about, that's when things kind of changed, at least for me. So I'm not sure. What's this? What are the combination of herbs? I'll check the chat in a moment. Damn it. Okay, 2 explosive rounds. Explosives, of course, this is not the ones I'm looking for. No, I guess we're gonna find out what this combination is. Magnum bullets, that'll be good for later, but not what I wanted now. Mine rounds, I'm taking those out. Don't need a lockpick. I don't know if... Actually, I'll tempt Raiden, but it's like... I don't remember if Nemesis has a weak point in this fight, you know, where you expose something. Actually, let me do this. Combine those. Don't know if I need pistol bullets. There will be pistol bullets though at the fight. That much I know. Got gunpowders. Do I have big gunpowders? No. Might just start the fight with a grenade. I can't die for PKC's sake. Let's see what's going on. This is something that this is something that I personally have a grudge against. Not a grudge like something negative, but this is a criticism that I'll have maybe towards you. And this is something that I see is very common in gaming culture these days. For example, on Steam, people can leave reviews. And I've seen, like, you go onto a Steam store page of a game and you see like mostly positive reviews or very positive reviews. And you then go to the review section and you see like the players have played like 1 hour of the game, 3 hours of the game, 30 minutes of the game. They haven't even actually finished the game, but they're leaving a positive review. So in my criticism to that is, if you haven't even finished the game, how can you truly say it's a good game? Of course, in the beginning, you can get this feeling, this sense of, oh, this is what the game's about. I remember even when I first started playing Sekiro, within the first 2 hours, I was quite interested in what was going on. But as the game progressed for me, I felt like I didn't like the game anymore. And I kept on pushing, of course, to make content and to get through the game. As much as I didn't like it, I still finished it 2 times over. So I feel like at least first finish the game before you can give like this opinion. At least that's what I believe, at least in terms of reviews, because I'm making content for YouTube, right? I didn't stream Resident Evil 3 Remake on my first try. This is like my 8th playthrough, and now I'm streaming giving my opinions after 8 playthroughs. So I feel like sometimes you have to give it time. Play it, finish it, play it again. Really analyze why you like it, and if you still do, then that's okay, like no problem. But I feel it's very dangerous these days that since everyone's connected to the internet, everyone has an opinion, and everyone can then give their opinion, which is fine. But in terms of games, I feel like at least a game has to be finished before a definitive answer can be given, because there are some games that start off well and end badly. This is also due to like budget restraints. A big example is like Mortal Kombat 1 and its story mode. The story is actually quite good in the beginning. The second half of it is like they were rushing to finish it, so.
Bitch can't even swim. Carlos, respond.
Yeah, what's up?
We didn't make it. The train derailed.
Derailed? Was anyone hurt?
No, everybody's dead. Mikhail, everybody.
Ah, shit.
Nikolai left us to die.
Wait, what?
What the fuck? It's back!
Chill. Chill, what happened? Chill, come in.
I can see the chat is blowing up right now. But I really don't want to die. As I promised to not die this playthrough, so I'll engage with you guys soon. At least after this fight. Yes, it does have a weak point in the chest, so maybe Raiden might just actually be.
Oh, come on!
Oh, that was lucky. Come on, show me that chest. Nope, too soon. Where is he? I've lost sight. Oh no! That was bad. Not good. Come on, I need to wait for you to come back. Where? Damn it, he turned around.
Gotta find a way to stop it.
I need to shoot you off. This is when I wish I had...
You're about to take a nasty fall.
Oh no! This is... Okay. Need to find some ammunition. Oh, not good. Very good.
All right, let's do this. Suck it! Carlos, you still there?
Okay, before we move on, I just need to pay what has been happening here. Hunep, you say that the Mickey counter works on many bosses. Please maybe define the number of what is many. Because, you know, you can look at my videos, the few that are there. Didn't feel like many to me. And Mickey counter is just like one example. I feel like there were many things in the game that were introduced for a, like particular to deal with a particular situation, and these tools were working in some situations but not in a significant number. It's why I gave the example of Final Fantasy and how status effects are only ever useful against enemies that can easily be beat without them. But then with the bosses that actually are difficult, that's when all of a sudden they're immune. And it's like, so what's the point? You know what I mean? So, yeah, remember you have to knock him off the tower. And also, like when he's running in circles, you can knock him off the white building as well if you can aim fast enough. Yeah, okay. I think I've caught up with most of the chat. For sure. For me...
You're gonna crap out on me now? God damn it.
For me, that was... Like, if someone were to ask me, what's the one big complaint that you have against Sekiro? It would have to be build variety. In essence, Sekiro is not a role-playing game. The Souls games, Bloodborne, were role-playing games. Sekiro, technically, maybe, but only barely. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like only barely a role-playing game. Similar to how I can say, I don't know, let me try to think of an example. The remake of Resident Evil 3 is more action horror than the original Resident Evil 3 that was survival horror. I mean, our boss fight right here was example of that, so only barely. And I feel like maybe expectations were set too high by me.
interesting. You've done me a big favor, Miss Valentine.
Jill! Hey, answer me. God damn it. Tyrell, do you copy?
What's going on?
Jill's been infected. I'm taking her to the hospital. Maybe Dr. Bard can save her.
All right, I'll meet you there.
You hang in there, Super Cop. I got you. Fight it, Jill. I'm gonna get you the vaccine. It'll be okay. I promise.
Okay, I just wanted, the cutscene to play out. Back to using Carlos. I believe things were pretty good when we were with him in terms of ammunition. And we can save. But yes, I think like maybe if I could go back in time, I would really have to pay attention to the marketing materials for Sekiro and stuff like that, because I feel like maybe I expected more of the same in terms of it being a Souls-like game, and I also expected it to be an RPG within the similar scope of the previous Souls games, but
Tyrell,
that
where's
wasn't
Bard
the
now?
case.
Gotta be the lab in the back. Stay frosty, I'm on my way.
Copy. I'll go on ahead.
But generally speaking, I found that there's the group of players who liked Dark Souls games, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, and like Sekiro and Elden Ring. And then there's the group of players who came in towards the end of the series in general. Players who came in with Dark Souls 3, for example. Their first experience was Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne, and their only next real experience was Sekiro and then Elden Ring. And I feel like opinions differ between these two groups.
I don't got time for this!
It would be interesting to find, even though the game isn't old, and I'm talking about Sekiro, it would be interesting to get like a retrospective on like what people's real takes are on Sekiro, and coming from people who started off from Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1. I feel like you would get differing opinions. I feel so. But we can only hope that as time goes on, people start analyzing these From Software games, because they're still relatively new. I mean, Dark Souls is barely 12 years old, and that may seem like a long time for some, but not for all. Trying to remember this section of the game. I'm remembering the hospital, but
Welcome to the office of Dr. Nathaniel Bard.
from the RE2 remake.
Into the
Let's see. And that's the last time you saw one of these in real life.
intercom.
Need space. Oh, in the booty. like this. I don't actually have a hospital keycard. I'll try let my coins heal me for now. Oh. I'll check the chat real soon. I'm actually quite immersed in this hospital section. This was like one of my favorite sections, even in RE2. Except there it was pretty grim. Here at least you feel a bit more empowered. Okay, let me check the chat real quick. To be honest with you, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. I never thought about it that way. You type that. So if you didn't play Sekiro, you would have still played Elden Ring. I never actually thought about it, because I feel like for me personally the damage was done with Sekiro. Like there was life before Sekiro and life after Sekiro. I feel like Sekiro was the point in which like I had been burnt out on Souls-like games, but I was still finding some enjoyment in the example I gave you, for example like Death's Gambit. And I was playing some Metroidvania style games that are also Souls-like games, like Blasphemous, for example. So I still had some room in me to find like enjoyment in these Souls-like games. But I feel like Sekiro just extinguished that fire. I did play some maybe Metroidvania style games after Sekiro, but Souls-like games not so much. I don't remember, none come to mind right now. And I feel like Sekiro was that nail in the coffin, at least in terms of From Software games. Sekiro just ended it for me. And by the time there was all the hubbub about this Elden Ring, I was interested to see if they would do anything different, but sadly, in my eyes, it felt like Dark Souls 3. Sorry, not Dark Souls 3. It was Dark Souls 4 with a different name. It's like, take the formula, expand it, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not that it's a bad thing, but it just wasn't new. And for me, I don't play Elden Ring, or I don't plan on playing Elden Ring, not because it's a bad game. There was controversy in how it released. There were some issues there, and I'm never really one to support controversy. But the main issue at hand was just that it wasn't anything new, and Sekiro just took the life out of me. So maybe if Sekiro never existed and Elden Ring came out, maybe I would have played Elden Ring for sure. Maybe. Actually, I don't even need this tape player, so let me just dump this here. Yeah, no, that's a very good comparison where it's like Sekiro is the adopted child. I like that one. That's quite true. Like if you really play, do you know what, Hunep? One time, something you should do, take an older game like Demon Souls or Dark Souls 1, play it, finish it, move on to maybe Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne. You don't have to play every game, that will take too much time. Go from like maybe Demon Souls or Dark Souls 1, then go to Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne, and then jump straight, like back to back, then go to Sekiro, then go to Elden Ring. And you'll notice the differences, and there'll be very stark differences. Okay, don't have a lockpick. ID cards in personal lockers. Don't have a key either. Let's try get some speed. I'm now enjoying this place a bit too much. BK Sims, how's it going, man? Sadly, I don't know, but I think you missed a boss fight.
Okay, not this way.
And sadly, I didn't die. So, I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but I did not die yet. I'll take some pauses in between gameplay to look at the chat. I really don't want to die. Okay, tape recording. Missing tape. Treatment room. Okay, we need to get to the treatment room somehow. Don't have an ID card yet. Oh, bastard. Just don't have space for many things. Not so many things. Okay. We can jump down there. Locked. Okay, let me check the chat. Nope, not dead yet. Yeah, there are definitely people who started off just, I believe Unep had said like his first experience was Sekiro, then moved on to Elden Ring. So I feel like there's a discrepancy there in terms of groups of people. There are the people who started like with the initial games and moved on. And then I feel like there was a very big influx of people in Dark Souls 2. So it's like there's the Demon Souls crew. Then the Demon Souls crew carried Dark Souls 1. Then Dark Souls 2 was the biggest influx of players, hence the how great multiplayer was and how many DLCs were released for Dark Souls 2. So it's like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, and then it kind of fizzled off. It's like the Dark Souls 2 community moved on to Bloodborne, but only those who had consoles. Then after that, it's like thus the Bloodborne community is what kind of kept Dark Souls 3. Many people's journey ended with Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. I believe a lot of the player base just grew old. You know what I mean? Because if I get things correctly, I believe Demon Souls is a 2008 game. Dark Souls 1 should be a 2010 game. By the time you get to Dark Souls 3, that's now 2015 towards 2016. You know what I mean? That's 8 years. That's almost a generation, to be honest with you. So a lot of people, after the DLC for Dark Souls 3 had released, a lot of people had just burnt out or had moved on with their lives, because 8 years is a long time. Very long time. At that point, I believe I had been making like Souls content for at least 3 to 4 years. It's a long time. Sekiro then comes out, I don't remember, 2018 or 19? Maybe 2019 actually. By that time, it was a whole new game, a whole new host of people, because I don't think anything substantial released between Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro, besides like a DLC. Correct me if I'm wrong. So by the time Sekiro came, it was a whole host of people, because from like 2015 to 2019, is like 3 to 4 years. These are now new players, to be honest with you. And a lot of people who came in via Sekiro are the main player base for Elden Ring, in my point of view. Even if you look at the YouTube content creators, most of the old creators, the Epic Name Bros and the Oroboro the Ninja, and there were so many people who were big in the PvP space of Dark Souls 1 and 2. Most of those people's channels have just gone silent for years. For years. There were so many great content creators. Jay Blackmail, Rose. There were so many people. And all of those people have just grown up. Because if you think about it, they were playing this game like 15 years ago with Demon Souls. That's when they started their channels. That's when also YouTube started off. So I feel like the Souls community is now split in two. There were the people before, in the beginning, and then there were the people who came after maybe Dark Souls. There were all these Souls-like games and Sekiro and the DLCs of Dark Souls 3 and blah blah blah. Let me continue and then I'll check the chat again. Do I need... I'll just take it and mix it. Mix the herbs. Locker room. Okay, I need to jump down another way. Kill the teddy. Yeah, there's Lies of P. To be honest with you, Hunep, about 3 months ago, yeah, sometime in June actually. No, sorry, the beginning of July, before I got Street Fighter 6, I was interested in playing Lies of P, and I played the demo, and I actually wanted to live stream the demo, but then I got sick. I got COVID. Oh, okay. We've got shadows. Let me go dump some things. I wanted to live stream me playing the Lies of P demo, but initially I didn't know like what the game would be about, or at least mechanically how it would play. So I decided to play test the game first and check it out, and then after that, make some type of playthrough, because I didn't want to start a playthrough completely blind, not knowing what the buttons were. I played that Lies of P demo for about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, till I got to the boss of the demo. That game bored me very, very hard. Like really, really, really bored me. And I spoke to one close friend and a cousin of mine, and they felt exactly the same way. But the thing is, the game is getting very positive reviews. People are really liking it, and I don't know if that's just games journalism, in the sense that games journalists do get paid to give positive reviews of games. It could be, oh, I didn't want to do that, no. Okay, let me quickly run back while I rant about Lies of P. It could just be like the positive aspect of like games journalism is corrupt. Starfield is a very good example of that. And or it could just be like that game is interesting for some and not for others. Or the one I suspect the most is, I think Lies of P is just not a good game on your first encounter. Like it's an acquired taste, maybe. I don't know. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because I played it for one evening and gave up, right? I was severely bored. But the game functions. That's a good thing. But I don't know if you've played it though, or if anyone in the chat has played it. I have. Oh, there's something else here. But I don't know, I'll really have to find time at some point to really try this Lies of P again. Maybe I'll play the demo one more time, even on a stream, and just break down why I think it's a boring game. It's not broken. Like the game mechanics seem to function pretty well, but it's just not captivating. At least that demo was not captivating. And I've reached a point where these days I just don't actually watch like pre-release footage of games. I don't spoil games to like anymore. Even when it came to fighting games, I wasn't watching any Street Fighter 6 trailers. I just waited for the game to come out. I made my own opinion and I made my own choice. So that's my hot take on Lies of P. Oh, and please confirm if there's any stuttering in the stream. Tell me. I know it's kind of very late to ask that question. Oh. That got me. I feel kind of happy that even after all this time, some jump scares are still... they're still catching me off guard. I believe the enemy should come out now.
Jesus Christ.
BK Sibs, if you're watching, this could be the death of me, especially on hardcore difficulty. This would be the death of me. Guaranteed. Let me dump a few things in here. Let's see. Let me check what's going on in this chat. Yeah, it's a good combination of genres. When you've got role playing and open world, you can make the story as you go, and it's your own personalized experience. Dark Souls 2, to be honest with you, I've got a very big story on that one, so I skipped it to Bloodborne and then to DS3. Bloodborne's my favorite out of all of them. That's fair enough, especially the lore. These are all very bad things. I don't know what BK Sims was talking about there. My first was Elden Ring. Elden Ring is basically the next gen Dark Souls 1. Yes, very true. I've heard rumors about Elden Ring having a sequel because of its success possible. I've played Lies of P demo and it was actually good. I thought it was gonna be bad from the trailers. Yes, I agree with you that Lies of P is way better than my expectation of what it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a game that comes out to die. But it's much better than that. Much, much better than that. But to me, it just didn't get me. So, Dark Souls 2. Now, that is a very, very, very big developmental story that comes with... There's a lot of baggage there. I don't even know where to begin. Dark Souls 2 was under different, how can I say, leadership or direction. Miyazaki, not that Miyazaki stepped down after Dark Souls 1, but Miyazaki maybe was grooming future, like someone to replace him or to take his place in other titles, because you have to understand that in these companies they want to have as much experience spread out maybe amongst the, whether it be developers, production team, you name it. Where the hell am I going? To the linen room. This thing opened a door, but I don't remember which door. I guess maybe the linen room. Of course, it's not like they'll have one director overseeing all the games. There may be one director overseeing one game. Maybe there might be another director overseeing another game within the same franchise. You know, they're trying to develop as many games as possible. That's not good. That's not good. they're trying to get as many people developing different titles so that they can be releasing, you know, every year we can release something. That's what the big companies at least are doing. And with Dark Souls 2, that wasn't the case, in the sense that Miyazaki wasn't directing Dark Souls 2. There were 2 people instead that were in charge of that game. Don't have a lockpick because I'm not Jill. And the promotion material was very interesting. You know, it was like, it was gonna be the game that took this great title, which was Dark Souls 1, and expand on it. You know what I mean? Adding so many different magics, adding jewel wielding, adding all these different interesting, very interesting mechanics. Okay, just checking if I'm not going to die anytime soon. Wrong place. Damn it. It's supposed to be here. Adding all these different mechanics, and the graphics at the time were just so phenomenal. In the promotional footage, the game then came out. They decided to make it multiple platforms. They wanted Dark Souls 2 not only to be on PC, but also on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. One thing you have to understand is that the PS3 and the Xbox 360 were like the industry's first attempts at like HD gameplay. And to be honest with you, okay, this is where I jump, but I don't think I can make it through here. Those 2 consoles were a struggle. If you watch a lot of videos that break down like ports, different ports of games, those 2 consoles were plagued with hardware issues. They were plagued with performance issues, stability issues. It was really a rough time for the PS3, Xbox 360. So if you're not looking at performance, maybe it wasn't that much of an issue, but if you were, I guess it was. So knowing this, they then downgraded the graphics severely for Dark Souls 2. And not only did they downgrade the graphics, they cut some things out of the game that they had shown in all the promotion material. So that one really rubbed me in all the wrong ways. Shout outs to BK Sibs. I am not trying to die here. I need to get into this room, but I'm not going to take damage for it. Okay, stay out. Oh, damn you. Okay, I might have to be quick with this. Okay, that's good. Can I get... Oh, not dead. One down. That's not good. Oh, not like this. Oh, not like this. Wouldn't have saved me. It was a crit. Got the tape. Yeah, it's like, please, if you ever have the time, look for all pre-release content, pre-release interviews, all the pre-release advertisements and marketing that had to do with Dark Souls 2, and then look at what released. It's shocking. But they managed to get away with it for some reason. I guess people were just happy that all the platforms managed to get Dark Souls 2, and it never really got much criticism outside of that. Search for the audio cassette tape. I think I just need to go to the save room now, if I can find it, and play the tape at the door. also check the chat real soon. Where's the tape player? Need a green herb. I need to combine it. And I need to combine that. And then I've got space. Let me check the chat. So yeah, anyway, the reason why I was telling that story is that even I didn't like Dark Souls 2 in the sense of what happened in terms of the business side of the game, the development side of the game. It was a bait and switch of a title. Many things were changed after the release that were being shown as promotional material. So I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. I only grew to like Dark Souls 2 in terms of just how many different system mechanics they added to the game. But overall, to be honest with you, I think I played through Dark Souls 2 fully once, like went through the game and all the DLCs once. Then I recorded a playthrough, so that was a second time, and I think I fiddled with a few builds for like maybe 1.5 playthroughs. So maybe after 3 playthroughs I was done. And to be honest with you, only after they released Scholar of the First Sin did I play the game again, and then after that I never played it again. So Scholar of the First Sin and its release was the last time I ever touched Dark Souls 2. No. My big negative with Bloodborne, I don't think I have a negative. Like, I enjoyed watching Bloodborne. Like, if you look for a YouTube channel under the name Epic Name Bro, he was one of, in my opinion, the most original YouTubers who were pushing Souls content. He ended up working with From Software after they got to the deal with Kadokawa. I don't know if you remember that point in time. I think it was 2014 when From Software got bought by Kadokawa Productions, and that's when Epic Name Bro also started doing some work for them. So I have no negative about Bloodborne. Maybe the one negative I could have is like, oh, they should have eventually ported it to all platforms. Keeping it tied down to the PS4 was its biggest limiting factor, in the sense that that game could have been bigger than it was if it could have gotten into the hands of more people. But you know how exclusives go, and these companies live and die by these exclusivity deals. So Bloodborne 2, not Bloodborne 2, Bloodborne was or is a good game. I have a strong feeling I'm about to get ambushed here. Nope. Not today. I believe I'm going to get ambushed by something in here, but I do not remember what. Or am I remembering something else all entirely? Because usually when you start getting ammunition, grenades and flashbangs, this is never a good time. This is when BK Sib starts saying sensational, because he knows something's about to happen. The safe is 9 and 3. 9 clockwise, 3 counterclockwise. Okay, gonna have to go back to that. Don't have space for this, sadly. So yeah, just to clarify on that one, Bloodborne's a really good game. Sadly, Bloodborne is a game, as good as it is, it's a game that limited itself within its own business scope. So I don't know. I feel like it could have been a blockbuster. I feel like Bloodborne could have been as big in its time as Elden Ring is now. As much as I don't appreciate Elden Ring all that much, I feel like Bloodborne could have had that same appeal. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3. Nice. I have played Silent Hill 1 only when I was a kid, and I had a copy of Silent Hill 3. Sadly, that's as much Silent Hill as I got to play physically. But if you know a channel called Avalanche Reviews, he does a lot of retrospectives and port reports on all these older games. I have watched recently within the past 2 months, I've been watching a lot of retrospectives on old games, and the whole Silent Hill franchise, Avalanche Reviews, has like retrospectives on all of them. A pretty long 1 hour, 1.5 hour videos, 2 hour videos. So as much as I never got to play the games, we can talk a lot of Silent Hill, especially right now. A franchise that I feel like was very good when it was still under Team Silent. So Silent Hill 1, 2, 3. Silent Hill 4 wasn't even supposed to be a Silent Hill game, and it became one, just like how Nemesis was never meant to be a numbered Resident Evil game. But it ended up becoming. And then every Silent Hill after 4, like from Origin onwards, was they were giving it to different Western developers. Those games were not so great. They probably have their own little things that were good about them, but they definitely will not touch like Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3, the initial trilogy. But the original director of Silent Hill is working on a game that's still yet to be shown. We only got a trailer called Slitterhead, so maybe that's gonna be good. I have no idea. We'll have to see. I just need to go finally play this tape where it's supposed to be played, so forgive me for trying to focus just a little bit. We've been talking about way too many cool things, and this is one of the reasons why I was telling people in the beginning why I love the RE3 remake. Yes, they cut out content and all these negative things that people blasted for, but the game is so engaging such that, you know, we're playing it right now. I'm having a really good time, and I still feel immersed in the game right now. And I feel like if I take my eyes off the screen to focus on the chat, I might miss something. But I know this game so well, but I still feel so enthralled by it.
All I wanted to know was what the documents were doing in your office in the first place.
Who do you think you're talking to? I'm goddamn Nathaniel Bard. I'm the best biologist you'll ever meet, you bedpan-changing waste of a nursing...
Whew, no bullets. I mean, no space. I'ma just discard you on the ground. Dead.
Bard. Tyrell. Bard's dead. He's been shot.
Shit. And the vaccine?
I'm looking.
Well, look harder. There's gotta be a computer, right?
Yeah, Blooper Team working on the remake of Silent Hill 2. I don't know. I never actually knew that, because when the Silent Hill 2 remake was announced, I believe I saw Japanese developers from Konami talking on that presentation. I don't remember seeing the people from Blooper Team, but if Blooper Team is doing it, then we are doomed. We are doomed. And to answer the question, Mr. Bunny, I remember. Actually, D2 has been playing Evil Within quite a lot recently. and he's one to best speak. If only he was in this chat right now, but you know, internet issues. But yeah, I feel like Evil Within 1 was a culmination of all of Shinji Mikami's work.
PRC Chief Nathaniel Bard, September 29, 11 p.m. I am acutely aware that my time's running out. And I hope and pray, by making this recording and bringing the truth to light, that I can restore some small shred of honor to my name. All of Raccoon City's suffering began with the release of a biological weapon known as the T-virus. My employer, the Umbrella Corporation, engineered this virus, and they ordered my team to develop a vaccine, which we did. Now, I keep samples of this vaccine here in my office. The rest of it is stored underground. But those sons of bitches at the board, they want to destroy it. They don't want the world to know what they've done. So they're trying to erase all evidence that the virus ever existed. Now, I'm not a fool. I know they don't want me to...
God, Jill knew all along. And she trusted me anyway. Fuck!
One thing I never understood about this part is like there's this whole revelation. Carlos never knew that he was working for... Well, he knew, of course, that he's an employee of Umbrella, but he didn't know that Umbrella was actually like the bad guys. But then it's like there's this moment of realization, like, God damn it, I was wrong all along, and fuck, I'm gonna do something about this. It smashes the screen, and then the door unlocks itself. That door unlocking itself part is the part that I never understood, like, why? I don't know. But yeah, just to them not remaking Silent Hill 1, yes, that's a dumb decision. Jurassic Bunny, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm going to ask you this one question. I just thought about it as soon as you said it. Look at RE2 Remake. Look at RE3 Remake. Then look at Evil Within 1. Bear in mind, Shinji Mikami, I believe, did not come back to help Capcom to remake these games. I think Shinji Mikami and Capcom split long time ago and never gonna join hands again. But don't you find it very interesting that if you really think about it, the RE2 remake, the gameplay, the engine, just feels like a better Evil Within 1. If you look at it from that point of view, can you then say if these two remakes were unique, considering that, I don't know, maybe I'm remembering Evil Within wrong, but it feels like what RE2 is, its framework and how it plays and how it looks, is freaking similar to Evil Within. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Shinji Mikami was there for the remakes actually and I've forgotten. I'll have to check that.
All right, Joe. Hang tight. T, I got it.
Good. I'm headed your way.
Be careful.
Careful. Have you seen this town? It'll be a fucking miracle if I get there in one piece.
Oh, not like this, don't kill me. What? This thing literally wanted to end my life so that BK Sibs could be happy. Like, I don't even understand. I had left a red herb. I'm gonna go get that red herb. Shout outs to Lazy Demoni playing RE4. RE4 remake. whatever this thing is. Probably a weapon attaché. Yep. I'll have to get it some other time. On another playthrough somewhere. Oh no! I was too caught up. Here.
You're gonna be okay, Jill.
Hold on.
Come on. This shit better work. Tyrell, what the hell happened?
Attention all citizens. The contagion spreading throughout the city has been designated uncontainable. On October 1st, Raccoon City will be completely destroyed in a missile strike. All residents capable of rational thought are urged to evacuate immediately. This is not a test. Attention all citizens.
I mean, that's only a day away. There's still people in the city. You think Uncle Sam gives a shit? Fuck. Here they come. Oh, you sit tight. I got this. Better grab some gear. Sounds like there's a lot of them out there.
Oh, I was talking to myself, but I feel like Capcom, with time, even though maybe I never noticed it or never thought about it, I feel like they saw what Shinji Mikami did with Evil Within 1 and the success it had, and then they saw what Bethesda did with Evil Within 2, and they just thought of it as like, we can remake with this like template, I guess. And I feel like that's what RE2 Remake is, to be honest with you. In terms of Elden Ring, I genuinely feel like that game is... don't think of it just as like an open world RPG, but think of it like as a MMO RPG. That's why I feel like the map is so huge. I don't know if you ever thought about it that way, but I personally see like Elden Ring more as an MMO than it is in comparison to the other Souls games in terms of its openness.
I'm gonna try to lower the window shutters. The less entry points, the better.
And how do we do that?
I'll try hacking into the hospital security system. Keep them off me in the meantime.
Rambo-san, what's going on, man? We're still pushing, trying to get to the end of this game, man.
Okay, now the fun shit begins.
don't know why I picked up the detonator, but okay. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Find the breaker. It must be somewhere.
Might be somewhere. Not a good description. That's good. Where did this guy even come from? That's some teleporting. Right then, please. Oh. Last thing I need is that thing waking up to kill me. No space. No space. Damn it.
Almost got it.
Bullets are now a problem. Okay. Oh no! Where did this guy come from? Guys, stop trying to punch something that's not there! I'm not dying here, not today. Not good. Oh, I just bombed myself. Bomb myself again. Okay, bomb them. Bullets, please.
I'm on it.
This section of this hospital fight. We made it. Yes. And this is just standard difficulty with all the bonuses I could have. Hardcore mode, this would have been a headache.
Carlos, you alright?
Not even close. But at least it's over. I'm coming back.
Vaccine's the real deal.
Good.
You going somewhere?
You damn right.
What do you think you're gonna do? Whole city's about to be microwaved.
Come on, man. Call the government. Tell them we found a cure. You stall for time.
Ballsy motherfucker.
Jill. Oh, thank God you're okay. I've got good news. It's over now. The city's safe. Jill. It's the only way.
Where am I? What's going on? Oh.
Attention all citizens. The missile strike on Raccoon City will occur in just hours. The payload is designed to eradicate all biological material. You will not survive if you remain in the city.
October 1st.
Evacuate now. Repeat.
No.
Evacuate
It
now.
can't be.
This is not a test.
Okay, just to answer Rambo-san, usually when you finish the game and you, I guess, complete certain milestones, like get an S ranking, complete the game, don't heal, don't save, you know, these different like challenges, you get what are called CP, I believe they're CP points, and you use these CP points in the game store. I believe there's like a bonuses section you'll see in the main menu, and then you can go in there and make purchases. That's why I bought like the Raiden gun. That's why I got the coins that I have, the extra pouches that I have, and stuff like that. That's where you even get like the costumes. And let's see, what's Carlos's other costume? Don't have. I guess maybe that's paid for DLC. But all these different things you buy using these like CP points, and you get these points for finishing the game normally, and also finishing the game under certain conditions, like the under 2 hours and the this and the that. They grant you additional points. So now that we are here, we definitely need pistol bullets. Got the coins. I feel like everything's okay. Maybe we don't need raid, and we might need space more than that. I don't really know. Nah. I'll use this just till it has to be reloaded, and then I'll put it back. Because I don't think I actually want to invest in it.
You saved my life.
I sure as shit didn't. That was all Carlos. He carried you here and he treated you himself. Crazy bastard.
Where is he?
He went underground. Bard stockpiled the vaccine, enough to give the city some hope.
He thinks he can do this by himself. I'm going after him.
Wait, did you see the broadcast? They're gonna blow the city sky high. I'm trying to get a hold of someone, anyone with the clearance to stop it. Leave this mess to him. He's a professional.
So am I.
Right. Guess I'm not talking you out of this. The storage facility is underground, beneath this hospital. I've lost contact with Carlos, so expect trouble.
just need to remember, do not reload the Glock. Do not I'm so scared that I'm going to reload it. Just need to be careful not to be ambushed. But yeah, it's been... I didn't bring my lockpick. No, thank you, man. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Appreciate the conversations and all the great stuff. Jurassic Bunny, man, shout outs to you. Thank you very much. And it's been the episode. It's been the episode. Thanks. Don't have space for this, so sadly I might have to go back and dump it. I feel like right now the game is... This is the moment in almost all Resident Evil games where it's like it's poising you for the final location of the game. And I could just go straight underground, which I will do, but first I want to go get that case that only Jill can access. I only remembered now that only she can crawl under the beds to get that case, so I need to go back to the second floor. But this is the way forward, technically speaking. I'm gonna quickly try do this to get that. That is what I need right now. You need to be careful. Maybe chance. Oh, okay. Anything for me in here? Oh, Carlos loots it all out. And it's not refreshed. Okay. Makes sense. Not here. Where's the section? Maybe here. Okay, there we go.
I think I can squeeze by.
Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Guaranteed to give you a headache.
I believe now we are poised to leave this place. If I can find where to even go. Aha, right here. Quickly just go and dump the gun, move to the next area, and then if there will be some safe location nearby, actually I remember I'd left a herb in here, but I don't have space. I remember there were places I could lockpick upstairs. Yeah, in the linen room, there's still a simple lock. Actually, let me make a run of this place. Collect all the things. The whole might take some time, but might as well. Shit. I was not ready. I was not ready for that one. Okay, dump you. Dump you. Dump you. 3 slots. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Backtrack. One thing just to add on to the Silent Hill discussion and emulation, please make sure that you find
This looks like Nikolai's work.
find a good emulating source, because maybe some people overlook certain details, but when it comes down to the quality of your experience, I would advise you to really pay attention to the sources and the materials you're using to emulate, and it can really make or break your experience. In terms of Silent Hill 2, there is a PC port actually of Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. So there's no need for emulation there, but you will need to patch it. You'll need to get the community restoration patches for like Silent Hill 2 and 3, because the original ports are just gunk, to say the least, and not worth the squeeze. Sadly, with Silent Hill 2, you won't get the good quality cutscenes, the 60 FPS cutscenes, good quality FMVs, and the good quality dithering that was on the PlayStation 2 model of the game. Yeah. Be careful where you play your games, I guess. Okay, should be everything here. Now to the linen room. This should be an ambush location. No? Or am I remembering Resident Evil 2? I don't, at this point, I'm not sure. Quickly dump some things in here. Okay. Maybe dump you too. Just a short roll call. Who's still here? who's still awake, or am I putting people to sleep with my gameplay? Sometimes I have that effect. I'm just quickly rushing at this point, just trying to pick up the last few things. There's something in the treatment room. This must be like a gunpowder. Yep, it is. Yep, there we go. Just stockpiling because there are gonna be some really big fights. This corridor still has something apparently, but I don't know if it's something I want to spend too much time chasing after. Yeah, you are actually right. It could be a possibility. I suspect that... Oh, I've lockpicked everything in the game. Okay, it could be a possibility, but I feel like it's gonna be a very special, rare occasion. Like, there's gonna have to be a very big reason for them to porting Bloodborne. Because other big Sony titles like, you know, Death Stranding, God of War, blah blah blah, the typical console games have already made their way onto Steam. And at this point, these games, like even Last of Us, these games are coming out in various times in history and still no Bloodborne. So I feel like that one, even though Gabe spoke with Sony and made this deal, there's still, you know, there are still some games that Sony is still gonna hold back, because Bloodborne defines, it's one of the games that define the PlayStation 4. And maybe at some point, you know, things may change, but I still feel like it's not soon. It's not soon. Maybe deeper within the lifespan of the PlayStation 5, maybe one day there'll be a Bloodborne 2 announced, who knows. Then maybe at that point you might see the PC port happening, when they're trying to cash in on all the players that never got to play it.
Must be the way underground.
Okay, believe there should have been something to pick up here according to the map, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Yeah. Miyazaki and sequels are like oil and water. It's not happening.
No one in the hospital ever noticed all this.
Okay. Slowly getting to the end of the stream. I remember this was one of my favorite sections of the game. I feel like in terms of all RE games, there's always the formula of you start off in the house location, you go to the outdoors location or something similar. Then the final sequence of most of these games is that you go to the laboratory. Even with Dino Crisis, it was the same. And the laboratory section is always the end sequence of the game. And this was one of the few laboratory sections I actually enjoyed to play, which is very rare. So, Thank you. We are practically at the end at this point. To be honest with you, it should. I don't understand why. Well, I understand in the sense that Capcom is not so wise sometimes. But definitely Dino Crisis needs something. Maybe they're scared they might have to pay royalties to Shinji Mikami, but they're already paying royalties with like RE 1, 2, and 3 and other RE titles that he made. So I don't know what the fear is in remaking Dino Crisis 1. Maybe they can just remake 1. But I feel like Dino Crisis suffers from the same fate that Code Veronica made. These are just good games that in modern times now are not really remembered. The newer generation of players maybe don't know them so well, and hence there wouldn't be much money. But Resident Evil had movies, 3D movies, real-time movies. Everyone knows, a lot of people know what Resident Evil is. Very few people know what Dino Crisis is or Dino Stalker. So it's a 50-50 toss-up on that one. But we can continue this conversation next time. We've pushed 1.5 hours. I believe in the next stream we should finish the game, or at least get very close to finishing the game. I'm very tempted to stream again tomorrow afternoon, maybe, just to get to the end. Yeah, then I watched a whole bunch of them, to be honest, and I loved just how bad they were. But I understand that they were bad movies in general. But either way, there was always viewership, there was always engagement. People knew what Resident Evil was. From the shores of Japan to America to Africa, people knew what Resident Evil was. Also, you've got Resident Evil characters in games like Marvel vs. Capcom. You've got Resident Evil skins in games like Street Fighter. So, people knew, But then if you're looking back at older titles, like for example, they're remaking Alone in the Dark. And I feel like there's a whole swath of players who don't even know what Alone in the Dark is, because that's just how long ago it was. And the last Alone in the Dark games that were coming out in like 2008, 2009 were really bad games. That generation of players is long gone. I mean, people who grew up with Alone in the Dark are people who are in their 50s right now. Just think about it. Like, the initial 4 games came out in the late 80s to mid 90s. If you were in your teen years or early 20s back then, that puts you at 50 right now. So some of these franchises, as great as they were, for example, I got to play Parasite Eve 2 at the tender age of like 8. So it means like anyone younger than me would have no real grasp as to what that game was, Parasite Eve 2 or Parasite Eve 1. Very few people even know that there was a third Parasite Eve game, because Squaresoft, which was now Square Enix, had lost the naming rights from the book Parasite Eve, and they called it Third Birthday, and it was a mobile title. So very few people even know about that. It was even bad. It was a bad game. So some of these franchises that people really wish for, it's already a miracle as it is that there'll be Slitterhead from the original director of Silent Hill. It's already a miracle as it is that Shinji Mikami came back to make Evil Within 1. It's already a miracle as it is that they are remaking Silent Hill 2. You know what I mean? It's like this is a resurgence. Since COVID, there's been a resurgence of survival horror. We've got games like Them and Us. We've got games like Tormented Souls. We've got games like Remorse the List, Nightmare of Decay. There's Eternal Evil. There are so many different games that try to bring back this survival horror, this slasher horror vibe that's been going on these past few years. It's a unique time in horror history. So to see some old titles being remade, I wonder what they're going to do with Alone in the Dark. I hope it's not going to be bad though. I don't know what Alan Wake 2 is going to be like in terms of will it be as good as the first game? And the first game bored me. So I'm thinking of replaying that game because I feel like it just came at a wrong time in my life. Maybe it was a good game because I really, really enjoyed Control. Like, really enjoyed Control. Control was a phenomenal game. And this is Remedy, you know, people who made Max Payne. So I feel like Alan Wake is a game I need to give a second chance, because maybe at the time, it wasn't a game for me at the time. But with Alan Wake 2 coming up, you know, I might just delve into it. But there'll be other titles as well. Yeah, some old devs came back. I hope they'll do a good job, because sadly of all the Silent Hill games, 2 is the one that missed me completely. You know what I mean? I got to play 1 when I was very young, and then I got to own Silent Hill 3, but 2 was a copy that was elusive to find. I just could not find it. So Silent Hill 2 just exists in my mind through videos and retrospectives and reviews and all that stuff. But of all the Silent Hill games, I still believe Silent Hill, probably the first Silent Hill game, because it was, you know, Konami's answer to Resident Evil. That was probably the best Silent Hill game, followed by Silent Hill 3. Silent Hill 2 has a cult following, but in terms of actual story, you know, that's why Silent Hill 3 went back to the original story and continued with the cult, the occult, and what was happening. So anyway, thank you all. It's been a great pleasure playing through Resident Evil 3. Hopefully we'll finish it soon. As you can see on the counter, we've been pushing for 3 hours, and we're not even trying to rush this game. So it's a short game. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thanks to everyone who's been in the chat. Shout outs to Hunep. Shout outs to Jurassic Bunny, aka Mr. Morinzi. Shout outs to Rampo-san. Shout outs to Fiery2. Shout outs to BK Sibs and everyone else who joined us this evening. And for those who'll be watching this as it's off the air, thank you. Thank you very much. Until next time, have a good evening and wait for the next stream.